The wild thing about The Surfer is you get to see Nicolas Cage on full display with his very distinct mannerisms and manic energy, and he's still not the weirdest element about this movie. Now, this actually wasn't 100% what I was expecting it to be. The setup is that Cage attempts to bring his son surfing on a beach in Australia, only to be tormented by the locals who refuse to let them ride the waves. For the premise like that, I was almost expecting something in the vein of like a schlocky action thriller, but this goes for a much more psychological aspect, with a heavy emphasis on Cage being put through hell and back as he refuses to leave the beach, have his personal items taken, and then be gaslit and humiliated about it. Now, it does lead itself to having a repetitive format that can wear a bit thin by the second act, and with another lead, I don't think I'd enjoy this as much, but because it's Cage specifically in this role, he manages to make this a lot more fun, with his usual freakouts and over-the-top deliveries leading to some moments of dark humor. Julian McMahon is the antagonist as the leader of all these locals, and he's also very good as he exudes this charm, but also clearly has this menacing energy to him that's never lost, which leads to this entertaining battle of wits between him and Cage. The style in which this is shot is also impressive, with a retro look in the vein of a 70s exploitation film. There's a heavy experimental feel to it, with scenes of Cage hallucinating, thinking of repressed memories, or envisioning himself in the place of other characters, with the sounds of the wildlife sometimes overpowering the scene. It's a style that some will find to be a bit much, but I thought it gave this a very distinct feel, and it looks just absolutely beautiful with a vibrant color palette that makes us not care so much that we never leave this one small area for the entire film. That being said, the direction it takes, which is meant to take aim at toxic masculinity, hazing rituals, and the idea of having to suffer in order to achieve happiness, does have this polarizing aspect to it. Like I said, the increasingly bizarre encounters can be entertaining for the first half, but I think it gets so caught up in its surrealism at times that I felt like there could have been a little more in the emotional payoff. Like, there is a distinct conclusion that one could find satisfying, but it's also just so committed to being so out there until the very last couple of minutes that you really don't get to sit fully with where that payoff goes for that long. Again, I think what just didn't help is that it goes on for a bit too long in the second act, and for how long it goes on, I was hoping for a bit more in the final act than what we ultimately got, which still wasn't bad at all. I just think we could have got to that point a bit quicker. I'd still say I like the movie overall. I think now that I know what I'm in for, I'd appreciate it even more on a repeat viewing. And if you're a fan of Cage just being Cage, you'll at least appreciate this for that element alone. Its experimental approach, though, just might be for better or worse, depending on what you're looking for.